we're very lucky today to have these 6 leaders. We have Cece from Prince Andrew. We have Nathan from Bagley. We have Ariana from Bagley. Actually, Cece, what grade are you in? Cece's in grade 5. We also have Nathan, who is in grade 7. We have Ariana, who's in grade 7. Denitza, who's in grade 8 from Davis Public School. And Madison, who is in grade 8 as well. And she's from Roseville. And Zariah, who's in grade 6 at Roseville. So this is our student panel. They are absolutely wonderful leaders, and they have a little experience at doing this. For those of you that don't know, we did, in partnership with Learning Disabilities Association of Ontario, we did an LD at School video. So we had 30 of our students participate in making the video. We did it at Tecumseh Vista in March, and it's actually going to be the opening video at the LD at School conference this August in Toronto. So we're really excited about that, and these are some of the stars of the video. So we're really happy, we're lucky to have them here. Give them another big round of applause. So, the students all have the copies of their questions, so they've kind of sat down and thought about their answers, so I know that they're really well prepared today. The one thing I want to say is it must be very intimidating to look out at this very large crowd of people, except I know one of the students was told it was going to be a crowd of 300, so one of you is very relieved right now. But the teachers here are just wanting to hear about how you learn. And they are very interested, and we always find that it's very powerful for us when we hear it from students themselves. So we're really excited to hear about what you have to say today. So let's start with question number 1, and we'll start with Cece. Cece, if we were to ask you how you learn best, what would you say?
I learn best by, I like to draw using pictures. Like in math, I will use circles, and then say it was a question 10 plus 10, I'd draw 10 circles and then another pair of 10 circles, and then I count them all up, and then you'd get 20.
Wonderful. So you're a visual learner? Great. Nathan, how would you say you learn best?
I learn best is when I work alone, and I get my work done faster, and if I work in a quiet place, nobody's around me, or yelling beside my ear, I can work alone, and I think that's it.
Okay, so you're someone who needs a quiet space. That's excellent. Ariana? Oh, thanks.
I learn best when instructions are written down rather than the teacher telling me, so I can look at it while I'm doing my work.
So it helps you read things over?
Yeah.
Yeah, and do you find you go back and read things over again after sometimes?
Yeah, so
yep.
I get them.
I'm the exact same way. That's great. Denitza, what is it? How do you best learn?
I think I'm more of a visual learner. I have an iPad at school that I use all the time, so using all the Microsoft programs definitely help. Learning through the arts is a thing we also do at school, so doing mind maps while we have our assignments definitely helps.
Okay. And so what are some of the apps you use on your iPad, if you don't mind me asking?
Like Cam Scanner, I would scan my textbook and I'll read through it so that way I have it on my iPad. Also, all the Microsoft programs like OneNote definitely helps when I'm...
Okay, wonderful. Madison, how would you say you best learn?
I find I learn better independently and by myself.
Mm-hmm. So you're like Nathan that way. Okay, that's great. Zariah?
Well, I'm a visual learner. I like to work by myself. I'm independent a lot.
Okay, wonderful. So you like to have things in front of you? Yeah, good. Okay. Our second question, could you describe for us what a great teacher is when it comes to helping you learn? And do you want to start again, Cece? You look like you're ready, so let's go.
I find a great teacher is when you can ask her for help or him for help. They will help you, and they won't just shrug it, or if they care about you a lot, and they don't just care about you at school, they care about you how you are at home and stuff.
So what I hear you saying is that they care about you as a whole person, right? Mm-hmm. And about how everything is going on and impacting you? Okay, yes. Wonderful. Nathan. Could you describe for us, what a great teacher is, sorry.
Well, my answer is kind of like Cece's. Well, like if the teacher, like if you ask the teacher for help for like a fourth time, like for the fourth time, and she or he's not gonna hesitate or like get mad that you need like help from him or her or him.
Okay. Ariana?
I learned, a great teacher would be someone like who gets me and knows how I learn, and someone who can connect with me and learns with me instead of just being so strict and not giving me.
Can you, if you don't mind, can you just kind of elaborate on what you mean by connect with you? I think I like that.
Like I wouldn't be shy to go up to them. Like I would be able to communicate with them. And
okay, great, wonderful.
I think a good teacher is someone that loves what they're doing and loves their job. So they love coming into school every day and teaching kids new things. Another thing is if they see a student struggling, they'll help rather than sit back and like let the student do their work. So if a student has questions, they'll help them out rather than just sit there.
Okay, sure. Madison?
I find a good teacher would be one that understands a lot and helps a student no matter what.
Right. A good answer. Soraya?
A great teacher is that understands me when I don't understand my work and I really need to really understand what's going on, with my, just to explain better to me. And when I say I need more help, she will help me and let me explain to her what I don't understand.
Right. Okay, so I think what I heard you all say is that you really appreciate a teacher who is patient. You really appreciate a teacher who is gets to know you as a person, not just maybe inside the classroom, but knows kind of what's going on outside the classroom with you, which I think is important. Okay, those are great answers. Thank you. Question number 3. In order to better help you learn, what are some things in your classroom experience you might change? So what are some of the things in your classroom that you would maybe, and you don't have to think about this year's classroom, you can think about a classroom previously, but what are something you might want to change in your classroom to help you learn better? Would anyone like to start with that? Cece, okay.
Because our classroom likes to talk a lot, so maybe to be
I've never been in a classroom that didn't, okay.
Maybe to be a little bit quieter when we're doing our math work.
Okay.
I forgot the answer.
Oh, do you want the, oh sure. In order to better help you learn, what are some things in your classroom experience you might change? So is there anything you would change, Nathan, that would help you learn better in your classroom?
Well, if you're doing an assignment in math, science, history, I would just ask the teacher if we could separate the desks from each other. Because they're gonna be talking. The teacher's gonna be talking to you, saying that when you're talking to people, you're not gonna get your work done faster. So I'd want the desks to be separated when you're doing an assignment, like a science project.
Okay. So oftentimes we talk about students working in groups in a classroom, which is we find very beneficial because kids learn from each other and they get a chance to talk about their learning. But sometimes I understand too from your perspective, there might be times when you do like to pull the desks apart and have some time to focus on what you're doing and not have the distractions around you like noise, CC, right? Well, that's great. Those are good answers. Ariana?
Wait, can you read?
Yeah, of course. Is there anything that you would change in your classroom experience that might help you learn better?
I would change maybe having no distractions and being surrounded by positive people, because they would build my confidence and everything, and it would just be better.
That's great. That's wonderful to hear. And of course, I think I think there's not one person in this room that was, if they were in a learning environment, wouldn't want to be surrounded by positive people, right? That's a good answer. Zanitza?
Can you repeat the question?
Oh, yeah. Is there anything that you would change in your classroom experience? So it can be even physically in the classroom or something that the teacher uses that would help you learn better.
The rest of them said they do more independent work. They would like to do more independent work, but my class is always independent. So I think working with newer people with like we do problem of the week. So working with newer students in the class, because you figure out different ways to solve the problem. So if you ever come in a situation, you don't have to do the same thing over and over and over again.
Okay, that's a great idea. And you know what? We were actually doing some work around classroom environment with the math learning or the math task force, and we talked a lot about kids getting to know each other better in the classroom and doing that through working in different groupings all the time. So that's a great idea. Madison.
Could you say the question?
I sure can. Is there anything that you would change in your classroom experience that would help you learn better?
I think having more options, like if you want to work in a group or by yourself, or different ways you could do assignments.
Okay. Soraya?
I would, what I would change in my classroom would be more independent work, because I don't really like working with a lot of people, because sometimes I like just doing my work by myself.
Fair enough. It's very interesting. So some of you really enjoy group work, and other people would rather work by themselves. It's interesting. 6 different perspectives. Okay, question number 4. Describe how you use technology to help you learn. Cece, should we just start with you again? Okay.
I like to use something called Word and WordQ, because I have a classroom that I go to with a teacher, Miss Gilbo, and she has computers, so she'll let me use that, and then if I was reading and then I had to reflect off the book, then she'd let me use that. And WordQ, if you don't know what WordQ is, it's something that reads to you what you were writing.
Repeat the question.
Oh, no problem. Describe how you use technology to help you learn.
Well, I use technology to I use math games. Like I use math games to sometimes help me with the math. Like if they before you're about to find a person, they give you a math question, like 2 + 2. And I use technology for history and science. Like I search up history, like Martin Luther King for history, like Black History Month. I search up him for a history test.
Okay. Are there any special programs or particular programs you might use that help you?
Yeah, sometimes WordQ, like CC.
Okay. Great.
Can you repeat the question?
I sure can. Describe how you use technology to help you learn.
Well, in our classroom, we have iPads, and we use those. We can use them for anything, for research, for assignment that we have to do. And I use iPads and computers for if I have to go on WordQ them. I just use it to fix my grammar and spelling.
Okay. Can you tell me what it is you find more engaging? What is it that helps you with the iPad? What is it about the iPad that helps you?
Well, it's a funner way to search up stuff instead of searching in a book.
Okay. So it's more fun? Okay. Danitza?
I have my own iPad that's provided by the board that I use, and I've been using it for about 2 years, but the first year I had it, I didn't know about OneNote, and now I never write anything anymore. All of my notes are categorized in there. It's I have my French notes, my history notes, math. So that was definitely one of the apps I use, and my whole class started using it now that I introduced it to everyone. So we all start using it to keep our notes, so you can also access it at home with the OneDrive.
Yeah, that's right. I use OneNote too, so okay. You don't even have to convince me. Great, thank you. Madison.
I like using technology to make my work look more efficient and display it better.
Okay. Is there a particular program that you use or particular technology you like to use?
Usually laptops.
Okay, great.
I have a laptop, and I like using WordQ because it helps me. I think there's a dictionary on there that helps me when I need a word just to find. It helps me, and then there's spelling corrections that I need, and then sometimes I would go in the app so I could see what words were wrong, and I would like to use Talking Dragon, because when I get to talk into my microphone, and it's a mistake, I got the dictionaries too on that app.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Okay, we have our last question. I'll give you a second to think about this. If you had 3 wishes to make your school experience more successful, what would they be? So I'm going to give you a minute to think about that. Not a minute, maybe 20 seconds. 3 wishes. If you can only come up with 2, that's okay too. And if you're ready, you can raise your hand and let me know. And we'll start with whoever wants to go first. Janitza? Sure.
In my class, we have older history textbooks and math textbooks, so being able to access them online would be something that would make it a lot easier than bringing the textbook home every day and trying to figure out what page you were on and everything. So it's a lot easier if we had the textbooks online.
Okay.
Another thing would be, since I'm in grade 8 now, I was in about grade 3 when I found out I had a learning disability. So I think when I was that age, it would have helped if there was an older student that I could look up to, that I could figure out how they learned, because it's easy. It is nice to learn from teachers too, but to have a student be in that perspective, it also helps. Another thing would be more technology use in the classroom, because we do have access to iPads, but they're not always available. So having maybe 1 or 2 iPads put in each class would definitely help.
Okay. Well, those are 3 really good wishes. That's wonderful. I really like your point about having maybe a mentor student working with you. That's a great idea. It's wonderful. Does anybody else have wishes? And if you don't have 3, you don't have to. Yes, Nathan.
My wish would be to bring my own laptop to school, because kind of like hers, we don't have that. We have tons of laptops, but we don't have that much for each class. And for the iPads, we don't have any, barely have any iPads at the school, but we do have them. But if we had an iPad brought to the classroom, we all be able to probably have 8 for each of us. But there's probably 32, I think, in my class, because it's a grade 8 split. So I wish I could bring my own laptop to do history, science, math, my own iPad where I could do math games and that.
Okay, so I hear you saying we need more technology. Okay, fair enough. Yes, Cece.
To have kind of his wish, to have a laptop that you can use at all times. To have one that you're carrying everywhere that you go. If you don't, if you can't. Can I start?
Of course, yes.
To have a laptop with you at all times, so you know that you can go search something up if you're needing to use it.
Okay, so easily accessible technology. That's a great answer.
And
Yes.
to have.
Do you want me to come back to you? Yeah, no problem. Who else has some wishes they'd like to share with us? Soraya, go ahead.
My one wish would be just to have someone, how she said, just to have someone just to help you with your work when you're you don't understand it, and you have somebody else that can explain it and help you with it.
Okay. Oh, very good. Cece?
To have someone not just a teacher, because the teacher has to help other students too. It's not just you in the classroom.
Yeah,
so,
teachers have a busy job, you're right.
Yeah, kind of like hers, to have other student in your class or in an older grade, to you can look forward to if you have any questions.
Yeah. I think it's a great idea. Ariana?
One wish would probably to be having no boys in the classroom. And having an all-girls class.
Could you explain your thinking there? Maybe it's a good idea. Why is that?
Well, some of the boys are kind of mean and get really distracted a lot.
Right.
And having an all-girls classroom would really helped me and just.
Oh, that's very interesting. And you know what? I remember you earlier saying that you really like to be surrounded by positive people, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, yes. Maybe we need to do some role modeling. Okay. Nathan, do you have another wish?
Yeah, well, the classroom I'm in, we are a grade 8 split, and I'm in grade 7. And like I wish like a teacher has to go around like helping grade 8s and grade 7s. Like our classroom is big, and I think there's like probably like 30 or 20 kids in our classroom. I wish we had an extra teacher in there. Like if another teacher, like a teacher to help the grade 8s and a teacher to help the grade 7s.
Sure. Madison, you haven't said anything yet, have you?
One wish for me would be like to learn more about the learning disability, because like when I first found out, I was kind of like against it and confused. So I'd like to learn more about it.
Okay. Do you think it would be beneficial for your learning if you were involved in possibly if you were on an IEP developing your individual education plan, something like that? Would that help you learn more about learning disabilities?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And the other thing is, too, we have a wonderful organization that we've partnered with, Learning Disabilities Association of Windsor Essex, and their office is downtown, and they have amazing resources and things that can help you learn more about learning disabilities. So that's a good one. Yes, Cece.
I have a third wish. It's not just for me, it's for other kids in the classroom, because there's some kids that are scared to ask for help. So I wish they'd be like a little more open.
Yeah, that's an interesting way you phrase that. So let me just clarify that. So you said that there's some students in your classroom that are afraid to ask for help, and I know the teachers in this room, and they're very wonderful people, and they do want to help. So what do you mean when you say someone's afraid? I'm just trying to better understand what you're saying.
Maybe if they're like really shy people.
Okay, so you're saying the student is just maybe nervous about asking or is worried? Is that what it is? So maybe we can kind of help them too by role modeling. I really like that idea actually that Denitza, you talked about having an older mentor help you. And I think sometimes when kids are in classrooms and they can be nervous, right, to ask for help. And it's not that the teacher's not a wonderful person or they're always willing to help you, but sometimes kids do have that anxiety or anxiousness around asking for help, especially in front of their peers, right? So we have to be particularly careful about that. So I like that. That's a good point you brought up. And thank you for clarifying it for me. Okay, wonderful. Are there any wishes left? No, we're good? Okay, I just want to say thank you. It's not easy doing live stuff, but it was worth it to have you 6 come here and be with us today. Really, truly appreciate your input. It's always good to hear student voice. As educators, we value a lot about what our kids have to say, so it's very important for us to be here. I think you are amazing that you'll come here, and it must have been when I look out at a large crowd of people, you did an excellent job. And you did a really good job expressing what would help you be a better learner. So thank you very much. Can we get a big round of applause for our panel?